Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode. Today, I have the honor and the pleasure of being joined by Marc and Surabhi, who both work with Aikon and are going to be involved in the implementation of ORID, which is coming to Worbli. And we're personally really, really excited. I know the whole team is about the implementation. I guess to kind of kick it off, if you could just kind of introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and kind of how you came into the space.
Cool. Yeah. So I'm Marc Blinder. I'm one of the founders and CEO of Aikon. We've been at it for the last couple of years. This is the first blockchain startup I've been a part of, but it's startup number 5 for me. So I've definitely been around the block a few times. And one of my oldest friends and co-founder, this guy Stefan, he has been a blockchain true believer for years now. And he's the one who kind of brought the team together and got me involved in it. His background was originally in encryption. He rebuilt SSL outside of America when the US had export restrictions on storing encryption. And so he's always been a kind of true believer in this decentralizing technologies and, giving power to the people all over the world. And so he brought the team together, and that was 2017. We've been building since then. We got Surabhi on the call. She was one of our first engineers, and I wanted her to be in the video because she did the actual work for the Worbli integration.
It's an honor to have you here, Surabhi. Do you want to just kind of tell us a little bit about you and how you came to be in the space?
Sure. Hi, I'm Surabhi, and I'm one of the initial engineers at Aikon, as Marc said. And I got into the space in my final year at school, where we basically did this pilot program with Clinton Global Initiative for the UN for refugee camps and building like a lending app over blockchain. And then, so I was sort of introduced to the blockchain space, and then I came across Aikon and the exciting work which we were supposed to do. So yeah, I joined Aikon. I'm really glad to be here and excited for the Worbli integration.
For sure. Yeah, we are too. For anybody who isn't quite familiar, Marc, can you kind of talk a little bit in the simplest terms, like what is ORID and what does it really enable?
Yeah, so ORID is a product we've made that basically links blockchain identities to existing sort of internet identities that people are used to every day. So that could be anything from a Facebook or Google login, other social logins, Instagram, that type of thing, or your email address or phone number. The reason we made ORID was to help with kind of the mass adoption problem that blockchain has. So instead of having to force someone to maybe download a wallet and create an EOS account for the first time, which can be pretty intimidating for kind of average mass market consumers, we make it super easy to just create an account that's linked to your existing logins that you use every day.
Yeah, that's what I really love about the project is just that one-click access through kind of existing social media accounts. It's a huge accelerator towards adoption. And one of the reasons why I'm really excited. What problem is this kind of solving, Marc?
Well, yeah, it's interesting because we really are solving 2 problems. There's all this promise in the blockchain space of real economic change, decentralizing power and empowering consumers and all these kind of really important ideals that we're working towards. But that's not going to happen unless businesses have a reasonable path to moving what they do and to moving their customers onto the blockchain. And so we have sort of an easy API layer that ORID works on, and that plugs into a bunch of different chains. So Worbli, EOS, other chains in the future. And that means that for a business, they have kind of one API they can kind of get used to using and work with lots of different blockchains potentially over the long run. And their engineers don't need to learn a whole new skill set. We give them JavaScript libraries, we give them APIs. It's something that really any engineer can work with. And then for the end customer, it's super easy because they're still logging in with their email address or their phone number or whatever they're used to logging in with. And so that means the business doesn't have the technical risk, but they also don't have the user experience risk if they want to move onto the blockchain.
Surabhi, why did you think that it was important to build this product?
Right. So let me just give you a little background how we arrived to the need of the product. So we built this protocol called Open Right Exchange Protocol for exchange of assets. And then we built a marketplace over on the top of it. And we realized that the most important problem we need to solve at this point is allowing users easy onboarding to blockchain. And that's how we arrived at OID. So I think the most important value which OID provides currently is, even though you're novice to blockchain, like you don't know much about it, and the end user doesn't need to know much about it, but you can still use OID as a social login to any sort of user-centric or developer app.
That's great. What kind of platforms does it work on?
Currently, it works in web and mobile both, and we have other apps which are integrating with OID, which basically we provide them like JavaScript libraries and APIs, as Marc said. And it's very easy to integrate with and should work across the platforms.
Sorry, but I just wanted to add to that, like, we do everything cloud-based. And so really anything that's on the internet could be using our APIs. And so, yeah, we do web, mobile, Android, iOS, whatever right now, but we hope someday in the future to even do things like games on your PlayStation that have in-game assets that are on chain and, things like that people don't really think about these days. But I think consumers are going to want all that stuff on chain 5-10 years from now.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to make it easy. How do you think this could potentially change the ecosystem?
Yeah, well, I think for us, it's about speeding the adoption. I think the move to blockchain will happen with or without us. But our hope is that we are going to change the ecosystem by making it faster, making it easier, and making it smoother for all these companies to start moving products on chain. And I think that's what provides kind of the snowball effect. As each business moves on chain, some of our businesses that we're working with are moving hundreds of thousands or even millions of users. And so they can't expect hundreds of thousands or millions of people to start using crypto wallets on their phone, right? Or holding those private keys. And by doing that all in the cloud for users, we're enabling them to get that like first foot into their, in the water, the first toe in the water, as they say, onto the blockchain. And then as they learn more and more about blockchain technology and get a little more savvy and get a little more comfortable, they could still export those private keys offline if they want to. But we think most consumers won't want that, but we are blockchain true believers, and we want to give them that option if that's what people want. And I think it's working so far.
Yeah, I think that this is an incredibly useful tool because a lot of crypto wallets aren't necessarily super user-friendly or easy to onboard people. So it's a great gateway. For anybody who's kind of curious about finding out a little bit more, where should they go or how can they get in touch with you guys?
Yeah, well, our website is aikon.com, which is AIKON.com. So definitely check us out there. That has links to the GitHub repos, API docs, all that kind of stuff. And then you can also find us on Telegram or Twitter pretty easily. And that's all linked off our website as well. So start there, aikon.com, and feel free to reach out. We're always online and always looking to work with new apps, dApps, startups, whoever you are, we're happy to chat.
I love it. I think the work that you guys are doing is super important. I'm really looking forward to working with you guys on Worbli. Thanks so much for coming up with this product. I think that it's incredibly invaluable to the onboarding of people into cryptocurrencies and just kind of the efficiency of the system at large. So thanks so much for sitting down and chatting a little bit about ORID. Worbli's excited. I know everybody else is going to be excited too. And I look forward to kind of an ongoing relationship with you guys and working with you guys in the future.
Yeah, thanks. We love it.
Thanks. See you guys.